The stars burned cold and silent as the wreckage of the eclipse tumbled through space. Once proud, now broken, the ship spun slowly like a dying animal inside. The lights flickered, wires dangled, and silence ruled over the ruins of what had been a mission of hope. Only one man remained. Captain Yarick sat alone in the dim glow of the cockpit, his face pale under the blinking red emergency light. His suit was torn, his breath short. He stared at the cracked screen in front of him. No signals, no response. Just static. He pressed a button on the control panel and spoke into the comms. "Mayday, mayday, this is Captain Yarick of the Eclipse. If anyone can hear me, please respond." His voice echoed through the empty halls of the dead ship. Nothing came back, but silence. Then, after what felt like hours, a soft beep, a signal weak but real. Jurek leaned forward, his fingers moved fast across the damaged console. The source of the signal was not Earth, not even human. It was something else, something out there. A reply. The voice that came through was strange, deep, calm, and not quite human. "Unknown vessel, you are damaged. Do you seek aid?" Yarick blinked. He didn't know who or what he was talking to, but he knew one thing: he was alive. "I do," he said, voice shaking. "I am the last one. My crew is gone. I need help." There was a pause, then another voice joined the first, this one colder, more distant. "Why should we help a being from an unknown world? You carry weapons. You could be a threat." Yarick swallowed hard. "I don't have weapons. I don't have anything, just this broken ship and a body full of pain. I'm not here to fight. I'm just trying to survive." Another pause. "You will transmit your location. We will decide if you live." The channel went dead. Jurek sat back, heart pounding. He didn't know who they were or what they looked like, but he knew one thing: they were watching. Hours passed. Jurek drifted in and out of consciousness. Every breath hurt, every sound made him flinch. He wasn't sure if they would come, or if they would destroy him. Then, outside the shattered window of the cockpit, a light appeared. It grew brighter, faster. A ship. It was unlike anything Yarick had ever seen. Sleek black with glowing lines running along its surface, it hovered silently beside the Eclipse like a shadow in space. A hatch opened. Two figures stepped out. They were tall and thin. Their skin shimmered like water under moonlight. Their eyes were large, dark, and unreadable. They floated toward the broken ship. Jurek barely had time to react before the cockpit door slid open. One of them raised a hand. "You are not welcome here." It said. Jarick raised both hands, palms open. "I mean no harm. I only want to live." The other alien studied him closely. "He speaks truth," it said, "but truth does not always mean safety." Yarick tried to speak again, but coughed instead. Blood came up. His body was giving out. The first alien turned to the second. "We must decide. Save him or let him die." The second alien looked at Yarick for a long moment. "If we save him, we risk our kind. If we leave him, we become no better than those who destroy without thought." The first alien nodded slowly. "Bring him aboard." Yarick barely heard the words before darkness took him. When he woke up, he was lying on a smooth surface. Light danced across the ceiling like fireflies trapped in glass. His wounds were gone. His body felt lighter. He sat up slowly. The two aliens stood nearby. "You are healed," the first one said. Jurek looked around. He was inside their ship. Everything was clean, bright, silent. "Thank you," he whispered. "Do not thank us yet," the second alien said. "We did not bring you here out of kindness. We brought you because we wanted to see what kind of being you are." Jurek frowned. "What do you mean?" The first alien stepped closer. "Your kind has never visited our space. Your ship was armed. You were alone. We had reason to fear you." Jurek shook his head. "I was on a mission of peace exploration. We were mapping new systems. Something attacked us. I don't know what." The second alien's eyes narrowed. "Something you do not know. What destroyed your ship?" Yarick hesitated. "No, one moment we were fine. The next everything exploded. I barely made it to the cockpit." Silence filled the room. Finally, the first alien spoke. "You will stay with us for now. We will learn about your people and you will learn about us." Yarick nodded slowly. "Fair enough." Days Pasedjarek learned their names. The first was called Varex, the second Thaurathir. World was beautiful, floating islands above oceans of silver cities built into crystal mountains. They had no war, no crime, only order. Yarick also noticed something else: fear in the way they watched him, in the way they kept him away from certain parts of the city. One night he asked Varex, "Why do you keep me here? Why not let me go home?" Varex looked at him for a long time. "Because once long ago another ship like yours arrived. Not alone, not peaceful. They came with weapons. They tried to take our home. Yarek's stomach twisted, and what happened? Varex's voice was quiet. We stopped them, but not before many of our kind died. Yarek looked down. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Varex placed a hand on his shoulder. We gave you a chance. Now we wait to see if we made the right choice. Weeks Pasedurek trained, learned their ways, showed no sign of danger. Then one day he found something, a hidden room. Deep beneath the city inside, a screen showed messages, old ones. One read, Earth fleet detected, arrival expected in 3 cycles. Yarek froze Earth, coming here? He backed away slowly. He didn't know what to think. Had someone sent help? Or was Earth coming for another reason? He ran back to Varex and Thaura. They're coming. He shouted, My people, they're coming. Here, Thaura's eyes widened. How do you know this? I saw it in a hidden chamber, a message. Earth is sending a fleet. Varex's voice was cold. Then we must decide again. Yorek looked between them. Decide what? Varex stared at him. Will your people remember the mercy we gave you? Thaura added softly, or will they forget and return with fire? Yarek didn't answer because he didn't know, and maybe neither did Earth. The city was quiet that night. No wind, no voices, just silence wrapped around the crystal towers like a secret waiting to be told. Yarek sat alone on a stone bench near the edge of the floating garden. Below him, silver oceans shimmered under twin moons. Above, stars blinked like watching eyes. He should have felt relief Earth was coming, but instead he felt fear because Yarek knew something the aliens didn't, had seen what Earth could become when it feared what it did not understand. He heard footsteps behind him. Light fast. Thaura appeared, her glowing skin dimmed with worry. You told Varex what you saw, she said, not as a question but as a fact. Yarek nodded. I didn't mean to spy, I just found it by accident. She sat beside him, looking out at the same ocean. We were once peaceful, she said softly. We believed in learning and sharing knowledge. We helped your kind because we thought you were like us. Yorek looked at her, and now? She turned her dark eyes toward him. Now we wonder. If we made a mistake. Yorek swallowed hard. I don't know why Earth is coming. Maybe they're trying to find me. Maybe they think I'm dead, but I swear I never asked for this. Thaura stood slowly. Words are easy, actions are not. She walked away without another word. Yarek watched her go, his heart heavy. The next morning, Varex called a meeting, not just with Thaura. With the entire council. Drick was brought before them. They sat in a wide circle inside a chamber carved into the living rock of the planet. Their faces were calm, but their eyes were sharp. Varex stood at the center. Tell us again what you saw, he said. Yarek took a breath. There's a message hidden deep beneath the city. It says, Earth fleet detected, arrival expected in 3 cycles. Murmurs spread through the room. One elder stood. Why would your people come here after so long? Yarek shook his head. I don't know, maybe someone sent a signal after my ship went silent. Maybe they think I'm still alive, or maybe... He paused. Maybe what? Varex asked. Maybe they want what all humans seem to want, land power control. That's not true. Yarek snapped. Varex raised a hand. Calm, we do not judge him today. We seek truth. He looked at Yarek. You lived among us, you learned our ways, you showed no signs of harm, but now we must ask, will your people remember the mercy we gave you? Yarek looked around the room. Yes, he said, some will, but not all. Thaura Varex nodded. So we prepare not for peace, but for choice over the next few days. Things changed. The city began to move. Large ships rose from hidden docks. Weapons were uncovered. Warriors trained in silence. Yarek watched it all unfold. He tried to speak to Varex again. Let me send a message, he begged. I can tell Earth not to come. Tell them this isn't a place to conquer. Varex studied him, and if they ignore you, then I'll make them listen. Varex finally agreed. A small device was placed in Yarek's hands. Speak clearly, speak honestly, say what you must. Yarek stepped forward and pressed the button. His voice cracked slightly as he began. This is Captain Yarek of the Eclipse. If anyone from Earth is listening, stop. Do not come here. These beings saved my life. They are not enemies, they are friends. He paused, then added, if you come with weapons, you will not leave alive. The message ended now. All he could do was wait. Days passed. No reply came, but something else did. A light in the sky. At first it looked like a star, then it grew brighter and bigger. Yarek ran to the top of the tallest tower below. Varex and Thaura joined him. They all stared up. It wasn't one ship, it was many. Do you see now? Thalra Whisperegrak's stomach twisted. He had sent the message. They hadn't listened. Behind them, alarms began to sound. Virex turned to Yarek. What will your people do when they see us? Yarek looked at the sky, his voice barely above a whisper. I don't know anymore. The sky burned with light as ships from Earth descended like dark clouds over the silver oceans. They were fast. Silent Armajurek stood on the edge of the city heart, pounding. He had sent his message, warned them, begged them to stay away, but they came anyway. From the largest ship a voice echoed across the sky. This is Commander Dane of Earth Fleet Alpha. We come in peace. Repeat, we come in peace. Peace, such a small word, so easily broken. Varex stood beside Yarek, his glowing eyes locked on the sky. They say peace, Varex said quietly, but I do not hear truth. Thalra joined them, her posture stiff. They are testing us, she whispered. They want to see if we will welcome them or fight. Yarek turned to them both. Let me go to them, he said. I can explain, I can stop this. Varex looked at him. And if they no longer listen to you? Yarek swallowed hard. Then I'll make them remember who I am. A shuttle landed near the city's edge doors. Opened out, stepped humans in heavy armor weapons. Reedy Yarek ran toward them, arms raised. I'm here, he shouted. I'm alive. The commander stepped forward. He was tall. Cold, his eyes didn't show joy. Captain Yarek, he said. We thought you were dead. I almost was, Yarek replied. These people saved me. You have to leave. The commander tilted his head. You're saying these beings helped you? Yes, Yarek said quickly. They gave me food, shelter. They could have killed me, but they chose mercy. The commander looked around slowly. Mercy is not what we came for. Yarek frowned. What do you mean? The commander stepped closer. We found something in your last signal. A piece of data, something hidden in your crash logs. Yarek's stomach twisted. What kind of data? The commander smiled. Just slightly. A map, one that leads to power. Yarek shook his head. No, that's not right. There's nothing here worth taking. The commander's smile faded. That's where you're wrong. Back in the council chamber, Yarek tried to explain. They don't want peace, he said. They want something else, something hidden. Varex listened without moving. And what do they seek? He is Skedjarek. Look down. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's buried in our past. Thalra stepped forward. There are old records, she said. Things we never told you, things your people once tried to take. Before Varex nodded. It is time you knew the truth. He pressed a button on the wall. A screen lit up. Images appeared. Old ships. Human ships, weapons, explosions, and a single word flashed across the screen. Project Legasathala spoke softly. Your people were here before, long before you. They searched, they fought. And when they failed? They left. Varex stared at the screen. Why didn't you tell me this before? Varex answered, because we hoped you were different that night. Yarek couldn't sleep. He walked the quiet streets, thinking Earth had come again, not for him, for something else. Something dangerous. He needed answers. He found Thalra outside, watching the stars. You still trust me? He asked. She didn't look at him. Do you deserve it? He took a breath. I need to know what Project Legacy is. Thalra finally turned to him. It is not a thing, it is a choice. A choice for what? She looked into his eyes. To rule or to destroy. Yarek felt cold. What did my people try to do? Thalra whispered the answer. They tried to control the core of this world. Yarek's breath caught. The core? Thalra nodded. They wanted power, the kind that bends planets, shatters stars. Yarek backed away. They can't have it. Thalra met his gaze. Then you must choose, Captain. Will you stand with your people? Or with us? Yarek didn't. And so, because for the first time, he wasn't sure who he was anymore. Yarek stood at the edge of the city, watching the sky darken with ships. Earth had landed not just one shuttle, a whole force. Heavy boots echoed on crystal ground as soldiers moved through the streets. They wore dark armor, carried silent weapons. Their eyes showed no fear, only purpose. Commander Dane walked ahead of them, all his voice calm over the coms. This is Commander Dane. We are here to secure what was lost. Do not interfere. Varex stepped forward from the shadows. You have no right to be here. Dane turned slowly. Neither did your kind when they helped us before. Varex's glowing eyes narrowed. We gave your captain a chance to live. He told you we are not enemies. Dane looked at Yarek. And yet, here we are. Yarek stepped between them. I told you to leave, he shouted. I told you these people saved me. Dane didn't flinch. You also said they were hiding something and we found it. Yarek's stomach twisted. What are you talking about? Dane raised a small device. A screen lit up. Data scrolled. Across it, Project Legacy, Dane said. A power source buried deep beneath this world. Your new friends knew it was here, and they never told you. Yarek turned to Varex. Is that true? Varex looked away. Thalra stepped forward. It is not a weapon, she said. It is life, the heart of our planet. Yarek looked back at Dane. You can't take it. Dane smiled coldly. Watch us. The city lights dimmed. Alarms began to sound. Ships above opened their sides. Weapons aimed down. Varex raised his hand. Defenders stand ready. From hidden docks, alien ships rose into the sky like fireflies waking from sleep. Thalra turned to Yarek. You must choose now. Yarek looked between them, his people and the ones who saved him. He took a breath. I choose peace. Dane shook his head. Then you're in the way. With a single signal, the first shot was fired. It came from Earth's fleet. A beam of red light struck the ground near Varex. Aliens responded instantly. Energy shields rose around the city. Fighters launched into the sky. The war had begun. Yarek ran through smoke, through fire. He reached the command center just as Thalra locked the final defense protocols. They're targeting the core, she said. They want to break the planet open. Yarek grabbed her arm. Stop them, she looked at him. How? They do not listen to reason. Yarek thought fast. There's still a way I can reach the main channel. Speak directly to Earth Command. Thalra hesitated. If you fail, you will be seen as a traitor. Yarek met her gaze. Then I'll make them listen. Inside the Earth Command ship, chaos reigned. Soldiers shouted. Alarms screamed. A young officer sat at the comm station. Suddenly, a voice broke through the noise. This is Captain Yarek, I repeat. This is Captain Yarek. You need to stop this attack now, Commander. Dane's voice cut in. You've already done enough, Captain. Stand down. Yarek leaned closer to the mic. No, I won't. These beings saved my life. They are not your enemy. Project Legacy is not a weapon. It's the lifeblood of this world. If you take it, you will kill everything here. Silence filled the channel. Then Dane spoke again. Your mission is over. Return to base or be considered hostile. Yarek closed his eyes. He had one last card to play. He pressed a button on his wrist. A new feed appeared. On every Earth ship it was footage, old footage of the first human arrival, weapons firing, aliens falling, and a message left behind by the last surviving alien leader. We tried peace once. We were wrong. Yarek's voice rang out. Now I'm trying again. Will you let history repeat itself? Outside the battle raged, but in one ship, then another. The guns stopped. One soldier lowered his weapon, then another, and finally Commander Dane. He stared at the screen. Then he spoke. All units hold fire. Silence followed. A single order: return to base. The Earth ships began to pull back. The war had been stopped for now. That night, Yarek stood alone on a hill. Thalra joined him. You saved both our worlds today, she said. Yarek didn't answer, because he knew something. Peace doesn't always last, especially when greed still lives behind them. The city shimmered under twin moons, and far away in the dark of space, someone was still watching, waiting. Silent war begins. The city was quiet again. Too quiet. Yarek stood on a high bridge made of crystal and light, looking down at the silver waters below. The battle had ended. Earth's fleet had pulled back. But something still felt wrong, like the storm had only just begun. Behind him, Thalra walked silently, her glowing eyes scanning the sky. They are still watching, she said. Yarek didn't turn. I know. She stepped beside him. You think they will come back? He nodded slowly. They may not need to. Something else is happening inside the command center. Varex studied the screen. Strange signals, faint, hidden in the noise of space. Not from Earth. Something else. Thalra entered, followed by Yarek. What did you find? She asked. Varex pointed at the screen. We are being watched, not by Earth, but by someone else. Yarek frowned. Who? Varex turned to him. That is what we must learn. Before anyone could speak, alarms began to sound. A warning light flashed. Redone word appeared on every screen. Incoming transmission, unknown source. Everyone froze. Varex pressed a button. A voice came through, cold, sharp, familiar. This is Commander Dane. We have returned. Yarek's heart stopped. But I thought, Thalra started. They lied. Yarek whispered. Dane's voice continued. We gave you time to prepare. Now we return for what is ours. Yarek ran to the comm station. This isn't over, he shouted into the mic. You promised peace. Dane's reply was calm. I promise nothing. Then the signal cut and the sky lit up from the clouds. Above, ships dropped like hawks, fast, silent. Armed Earth had returned, but not to talk. To take the first strike hit the outer defenses. Energy shields flared. Smoke rose, screams echoed through the streets. People ran. Fighters, Launchhead Virex stood tall in the chaos. Raise all weapons, defend the core. Thaura looked at Yarrick. You must go, you cannot stay here. Yarrick shook his head. No, I won't run again. She grabbed his arm. If you die here, no one will remember what you fought for. He met her gaze. Then I'll make sure they do. Inside the Earth Command ship, Dane stood before his officers. Begin Phase 2, a soldier spoke. Sir Captain Yarrick is still on the surface. Dane didn't blink. He made his choice. The soldier hesitated. And if he tries to stop us? Dane smiled coldly. Then he becomes the enemy. Back on the planet, Yarrick ran through the smoke-filled streets. Alien soldiers fought hard. Their weapons glowed blue in the dark, but Earth's forces were stronger, better armed, better. Yarrick reached the main tower. Inside, Virex was already there, wounded, but standing. They are targeting the core, Virex said. If they reach it, the planet will break. Yarrick looked around. There has to be a way to stop them, Virex handed him a small device. A message, he said, from the last war. Yarrick took it. What does it say? Virex's voice was weak. That mercy once saved us, but betrayal burns faster. Yarrick stared at the device. Then he understood. This wasn't just about power, it was about revenge for both sides. Outside, the battle raged. Ships crashed, buildings fell. Deep beneath the surface, the core pulsed like a beating heart, waiting, watching that night as fire burned across the sky. Yarrick stood alone on the edge of the battlefield. His suit was torn, his face covered in soothe. Looked up. Earth's ships hovered like giants waiting for orders. He raised the device, pressed the button, spoke into the void. This is Captain Yarrick, if anyone is listening. Here. Me now. He paused. They answered our call once, not with words but with fire. Another pause. And now I answer back. He looked toward the core, toward the heart of the world, and whispered, it ends here. Smoke filled the sky. The city burned beneath twin moons. Its crystal towers cracked, and broken fires glowed like wounds across the land. And through it all, Yarrick ran. He held the small device tightly. Virex's final message, a secret buried for decades, a warning left behind him. Thaura followed, wounded but steady. They're almost at the core, she said between breaths. If they reach it, I know, Yarrick cut in. The planet won't survive. They reached the underground chamber, deep beneath the city, hidden under layers of stone and silence. The door was sealed. Yarrick placed his hand on the scanner. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the door groaned open. Inside, the room pulsed with soft blue light. At the center stood an ancient console. Dust covered its surface, untouched for years. Yarrick stepped forward. Thala watched him closely. What are you looking for? He didn't answer right away. Instead, he pressed a button. The screen flickered. Then a voice, old, weak, but full of meaning. This is Commander Ralek of Earth Fleet 1. If you hear this, it means we failed. Project Legacy was never about power. It was about control. We wanted to bend planets to our will, to reshape stars. We thought we could. Take it, we were wrong. The beings here tried to stop us. We called them enemies. We made war. But one among them gave me a chance, just like yours. She showed me what we were destroying, and now I leave this message, so that if anyone comes again, they will know the cost of greed. Mercy once saved us, but we forgot. Don't make the same mistake. The message ended. Silence filled the chamber. Thaura looked at Yarrick. You understand now, she whispered. He nodded slowly. They weren't just trying to conquer, they were trying to rewrite the laws of nature. She stepped closer. And now your people return. Yarrick clenched his fists. No, not if I can stop them. Back above ground, the battle still raged. Earth's forces had pushed deeper into the city. Their soldiers moved fast, cutting through defenses. Commander Dane stood aboard the command ship, watching the progress on his screen. Phase 3, he ordered. An officer hesitated. Sir Captain Yarrick is still down there. Dane didn't look up. He made his choice when he turned against us. The officer swallowed hard. Yes, sir. Back in the underground chamber, Yarrick worked quickly. He connected the old device to the main system. Data flowed across the screen. Maps, records, warnings. Thala studied them carefully. This shows everything, she said. The first war, the second war, and what will happen if the core is taken. Looked up. How do we stop it? She pointed at a symbol. There's a failsafe. A way to shut down the energy flow before they reach the core. Yarek frowned, but she met his eyes. It must be activated manually from inside the core chamber. His stomach twisted. That's where Earth's forces are heading, she nodded. We have to get there before they do. They ran through the burning street smoke. Filled their lungs, explosions lit the night. They reached the entrance to the core chamber, was guarded too. Earth soldiers stood. Watcherek raised his hands as he approached. I need to speak to Commander Dane, he said. One soldier stepped forward. You're not authorized. Yarrick took a breath. I'm Captain Yarrick of the Eclipse. This is my mission now. The other soldier laughed. You lost the right to call it that. When you sided with them, Yarrick looked past them. The door behind them was open inside the core, pulsed like a beating heart end. Earth soldiers were already preparing to extract. I turned to Thara. We don't have much time. She nodded. Yarrick looked back at the guards. I'll distract them. Thara's eyes widened. You'll die. He smiled sadly. Maybe, but I won't let history repeat itself. Before she could stop him, he stepped forward, raised his voice, and shouted, Listen to me. The soldiers turned to Yarrick, began to speak, not just to them, to everyone listening. This is Captain Yarrick. If anyone from Earth is hearing this, stop, don't take the core. You don't understand what you're doing. One soldier raised his weapon. Step back, traitor. Yarrick didn't move. I'm not your enemy. The real enemy is greed, is fear, is forgetting what mercy looks like. He took a step closer. I lived among them. I saw who they really are, and I won't let you destroy them. The soldier hesitated just long enough. Allah moved fast. In one motion, she knocked the gun from his hand. Chaos Eruptedric dove for cover. Thara fought hard, and behind them the core pulsed faster, closer. To breaking inside the chamber. Yarrick reached the control panel. Thara limped beside him. Can you activate the failsafe? Skedrek studied the controls. I think so. He pressed the final sequence. Warning flashed on the screen. Core shut down in 30 seconds. Outside alarms began to sound. Soldiers scrambled from the command ship. Dane's voice came through the comms. What's happening? No one answered. Because the core was shutting down. The war was slipping from their hands. The core chamber trembled like a dying heart. Alarm screamed. Through the underground halls, smoke poured from broken systems. The once glowing walls flickered with failing light. Yarrick stumbled back from the control panel. Shutdown started, he gasped. But it might not be enough. Thara grabbed his arm. We have to go now. Outside the sounds of war grew louder. Heavy boots, shouting. Firing Earth soldiers were not retreating. They were advancing. Commander Dane stood aboard the command ship, watching the chaos unfold on his screen. Override the shutdown, he ordered. An officer hesitated. But sir, if we force the core open now. I didn't ask for warnings, Dane snapped. I gave an order. The officer swallowed hard. Yes, sir. Inside the core chamber, red lights flashed. A new message appeared on the screen. Core extraction override in progress. Yarrick saw it and cursed under his breath. They're trying to take it anyway. Thara's eyes widened. If they do, the planet won't survive. Yarrick looked around. There had to be another way. He turned to Thara. I need you to get everyone out. She shook her head. No, I'm not leaving you. You have to, he said. If I can delay them long enough, maybe the system will reset itself. She grabbed his arm. And if it doesn't? He met her gaze. Then make sure my name isn't forgotten. Before she could argue, he ran toward the main entrance. Soldiers were already pouring inside. Weapons raised. One stepped forward. Captain Yarrick, you are hereby placed under arrest for sabotage and treason. Yarrick didn't flinch. I'm not stopping anything. I'm saving both our worlds. The soldier raised his weapon. Step aside. Yarrick took a deep breath and then he did the only thing left. He fired first. The chamber exploded into fire and noise. Yarrick dove behind cover. Heart pounding lasers burned the air. Smoke filled the room. Thara led the remaining civilians out just as the ceiling cracked above them. Outside, the city was falling apart. Alien fighters clashed with Earth's forces. In the streets, buildings crumbled. Ships fell from the sky. It was no longer a mission, it was a war. Back inside the chamber, Yarrick fought hard. He moved fast, shot with precision. He wasn't a soldier anymore. He was a man who had seen too much, who had lost too many, and who refused to let history repeat itself. A soldier lunged at him. Yarrick tackled him down. Another aimed. A shot rang out. Pain tore through Yarrick sighed. He staggered. Fell. Blood soaked his suit. Through blurred vision, he saw the core pulsing wildly, unstable, close. To breaking, he reached out, tried to crawl every inch, felt like miles behind him. More soldiers entered, weapons raised, but before they could fire, voice echoed through the coms. "This is Commander Dane. Pull all units back." Silence followed. One soldier turned to the others. "Sir?" Dane's voice came again, colder than before. "The core is failing. If it explodes now, we lose everything." The soldier hesitated. "What about Yorick?" For a moment there was no answer, then Dane spoke. "Leave him outside." Thalra watched from a distance. The Earth forces began to retreat. Their ships lifted into the sky, leaving the battlefield behind. Leaving Yorick behind. She clenched her fist. No, not this time. She ran back into the burning city, through smoke, through fire, through death, until she found him lying near the core, bleeding, breathing just barely. She dropped beside him. "Yorick." His eyes fluttered open. "They're gone?" he whispered. She nodded. "They left you." He smiled weakly. "Good." She pulled him up gently. "We're getting you out," he coughed. "There's no time." She looked at the core. It pulsed faster, now closer to collapse. She turned back to him. "Tell me what to do." He blinked slowly. "There's a final sequence manual override." She looked at the console. "How long?" He took a shaky breath. 3 minutes. She looked back at him. "I'm not leaving without you." He touched her hand. "You have to." She shook her head. "No." He smiled again. "Make sure they remember me." Then his eyes closed far above. The last Earthship vanished into the stars. On the ground the core pulsed one final time, then light, blinding, silent. Peace. Smoke still rose from broken towers. Fires had burned themselves out, and the sky, once filled with warships, was now empty. Only ruins remained, and one survivor. Jurek opened his eyes. Pain shot through his body like fire. His vision blurred. He tried to move, but every muscle screamed. A voice came through the haze. "You are awake." He turned his head slowly. Thala stood beside him. Her face was tired, her eyes full of sorrow. "Where am I?" he whispered. "In the heart of our world," she said softly. "You saved it, but you almost died doing it." He tried to smile. "Worth it." She didn't return the smile. Instead, she looked away. "They want to see you." He frowned. "Who?" "The council." His stomach twisted. "They're going to judge me." Thalra nodded. "Yes." They brought him to the chamber. It was deep beneath the city, carved into the living stone of the planet. Tall figures sat in a wide circle. Their glowing eyes studied him like a puzzle they couldn't solve. At the center stood Varex's voice was calm but heavy. "Captain Yorick, you were once a guest, then a friend. Now we do not know what you are." Yorick stood as straight as he could. "I did everything I could to stop them," he said. "I fought my own people. I nearly died to protect yours." Varex stepped closer. "And yet war came." Yorick swallowed hard. "That wasn't because of me," one of the elders spoke. "No, but you are still one of them," another added. "You cannot deny your blood." Yorick looked around the room. "I don't deny who I am," he said. "But I also don't forget what you did for me when I crashed here. I was dying. You saved me. You gave me food, shelter, a second chance." He took a breath. "And when Earth came back, I begged them to leave. I warned them. I fought them." He looked at Varex. "But I couldn't stop all of them." Silence filled the chamber. Then Thalra stepped forward. "He is not like the others," she said. "He chose peace when war was easier." Varex looked at her. "And if Earth comes again, what then?" Thalra met his gaze. "Then he will choose again." Varex turned back to Yorick. "We have debated long. We have seen your actions, your words, your sacrifice." He paused. "And now we ask you one final question." Oryx stood still. "What is it?" Varex's voice was quiet. "Will you speak for your kind?" Yorick blinked. "What do you mean?" Varex stepped aside. Behind him, a screen lit up. It showed Earth, not just any part. A live broadcast from Earth Command. Someone was speaking. A voice rang out across the channel. "This is Earth Command. We call upon the alien species known as the Zalari. We demand answers for the loss of our forces. We demand justice." Arek stared at the screen. Shock ran through him. They hadn't learned anything. They were already preparing for more war. Thalra looked at him. "This is your moment," she whispered. "If you speak now, maybe someone will listen." Arek took a deep breath. He stepped forward, pressed the button, and began to speak. The screen blinked as the live feed connected. Arek stood before it, heart pounding behind him. The alien council watched in silence. Before him, millions of humans would soon hear his voice. His breath was shaky. His hands clenched, but he began to speak. "This is Captain Yorick of the Eclipse, if you are hearing this." "Stop." He paused, let the words settle. "I know what you saw, I know what they told you. That we failed, that we were weak, that we gave away our chance." He looked straight into the camera, "But I'm here to tell you the truth." The screen showed Earth's command center officers sat frozen, generals stared, even Commander Dane, watching from a hidden station, leaned forward. Rick continued, "They saved me when I had nothing, when I was broken. They gave me food, shelter, a second life." He took a breath. "And when Earth came back, I begged you to leave. I warned you, I fought my own people to protect theirs." Silence followed, then a voice cut through. "This is General Hask of Earth Command. You have committed treason." Captain Yorick didn't flinch. "No," he said. "I did what no one else dared. I chose peace when war was easier." Hask's voice was cold. "You destroyed a mission worth billions. You stopped us from claiming what could have changed everything." Yorick stepped closer to the screen. "What, General? Power control over a planet that never hurt us?" He turned to the wider audience now watching, to all of you listening. "Think about what we've done. We came with weapons. We attacked without reason. We tried to take something that wasn't ours." He let the words sink in. "Earth used to be better than this." Back on the alien world, Thalra stood beside Verexley. Watched the broadcast together. Thala whispered, "Do you think anyone will listen?" Verex studied the screen. "It depends on how many still believe in mercy." On Earth, reactions were mixed. In homes across the world, families watched in shock. Some nodded, others shouted. In military bases, soldiers debated. In schools, teachers paused lessons to show the speech. And in the streets, protests began. One side called for Yorick's arrest. The other called him a hero. Inside Earth Command, tension rose. General Hask turned to his officers. "This ends now." An officer hesitated. "Sir, public opinion is shifting." Hask slammed his hand on the table. "We don't answer to public opinion. We answer to survival." He pressed a button. "All fleets prepare for final strike." The room fell silent. One officer spoke up. "Sir, that would mean full war." Hask met his gaze. "Yes." Back on the alien world, alarms sounded again. Thalra ran to the control panel. Her eyes widened. "They're coming back," she whispered. Edgerak's voice crackled through the comms. "What?" She turned to Verex. "Earth is preparing another attack." Verex closed his eyes for a moment, then he opened them. "They will not stop." Yorick grabbed the mic. "This is Captain Yorick. You have 10 minutes before Earth launches its final strike." He looked at Thalra. "We need to act now." She nodded. "I'll get the council." Yorick turned back to the screen, spoke one last time. "If you still believe in peace, if you still believe in hope, then stop this now." He took a breath. "This isn't just about me or them. This is about who we are." He looked straight into the camera. "Will we always answer fear with fire? A final pause, or can we learn to be better?" The countdown began across Earth's command centers. Officers watched the screen. 10 minutes, that's all the time left before the final strike. In homes and cities, people gathered around their screens. Some waited for war, others prayed for peace. And in spaceships prepared to fire, but on the alien world, Yorick stood tall. He looked at Thalrish, nodded. They ran through the burning streets, past broken towers and silent ruins, back to the council chamber. Inside, the leaders of the alien race, the Zelari, sat in silence. Everett stood at the center. His voice was calm but heavy. "We have made our choice." Varek stepped forward. "Please," he said. "Let me speak one last time." Varek studied him. "You already have." Varek shook his head. "But not to them." He pointed to the live feed still connected to Earth. Varek hesitated. Then he gave the signal. A new message was sent across space to every ship, to every station, to every person watching. It was not a threat, it was a plea. "This is Captain Yorick." His voice rang out. "I stand here not as a soldier, not as an enemy, but as a man who lived among those you fear." He paused. "They saved my life when I had nothing. They gave me hope when I had none." He looked straight into the camera. "And now they are ready to give you one last chance." Silence followed. Then Varek stepped beside him. His glowing eyes stared into the lens. "This is Varex of the Zelari. We do not seek war. We never did." He raised a hand. "We will lower our weapons. We will open our skies." He took a breath. "But only if you do the same." Gasps echoed across Earth's command stations. General Hask slammed his fist on the table. "They're trying to trick us." But another officer spoke up. "They just offered peace." Hask turned sharply. "And you believe them?" The officer looked at the screen. I believe we've lost too much already. Back on the alien world, Yarick turned to Thalra. They're not answering. She looked at the sky. They're thinking he? Exhaled, that means there's still hope. She touched his arm gently. You gave them that. He smiled weakly. I just wanted to stop the fighting. Thalra met his gaze. Maybe you did. Suddenly the Comes crackled a voice came through. This is Earth Command all units? Hold fire, silence, then another line, all fleets. Stand down. The room exploded into quiet shock. Erek couldn't breath. Thala. Eyes filled with light. Varex closed his eyes in relief. It was over Earth had chosen. Peace days passed. The ships left. The fires died. The city began to heal. Yarick stood once more on the high bridge looking over the silver waters. Thalra joined him. You did it, she said softly. He shook his head. No, we did. She smiled. You gave both our worlds a second chance. He looked at the stars above. I just hope we don't waste it. She stepped beside him. Mercy once saved us, she whispered. Now it may save the galaxy. He nodded. Maybe this is just the beginning.